What's going on, Five fans? We are back. Take a few days off here. Jeff and I had some vacations to attend to, but now
Yes.
we are rolling into fight week for Aries 6. So we got a lot of content coming your way over the next few days. Lots of fighters want to talk to, and kicking it all off here today, we've got Mr. Earl McKinney joining us. Jeff, Earl's about to go for that first ever Aries featherweight strap. I'm sorry, bantamweight strap at 135. We haven't had a champion yet since we started this promotion. So Earl's going to be taking on Joel Winters, a guy that we are a little bit more familiar with, as this will be Earl's first time competing with us, but a guy that I have been following down there on the NFC circuit down in Georgia. Jeff, excited to get to talk to Earl tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited too. Like you said, haven't had the pleasure of having him on an Aries show, but been watching what he's been doing a little south of us down with NFC, and absolutely impressed. So I can't wait. We've been trying to get this bantamweight title. It seems like out for a while, and every time we've had a matchup we thought would come off and meant or felt right, nothing's really happened. And then, boo bam, Earl falls in our lap, and I think we've got one that's deserving of it.
No doubt. Earl, how's it going, man? Of course, it is right about a week out from weigh-ins. We're recording this today. How you feeling? Everything going on pace with your weight cut?
I'm feeling good, man. Everything is going pretty good, and thank you for having me on here, yo.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you, Earl. Of course, 4-1 coming out of the Striker Fight Center down in Kennesaw, Georgia. A couple teammates on this card as well, with Cody Ortiz and Warren Smith joining us on this card as well. What's the fight camp been like down at Striker Fight Center? Getting ready. It's got to be nice having a few teammates all going towards that same date with you.
Yes, sir. It is. We can't forget my boy Carrington as well.
Carrington, that's
Um,
right. Carrington Johnson on the card as
yes,
well.
sir.
The fourth. Man,
Yes,
how
sir.
can you forget that? That's a badass fight, too.
But yeah, man, it's good, man, having the camaraderie, all going to Tennessee and just showing ourselves.
No doubt, man. Now, you ran off a 4-0 record to start your career, a very highly touted prospect down there in Georgia, fighting with the NFC. Had your first loss last time out, taking on, in my opinion, probably the top bantamweight, prospect in possibly the nation, man. Really, well, in Wellmaker, Malcolm Wellmaker. What did you take out of that one? These amateur fights really are for experience more than anything. And you call it a loss. A lot of people call it a learning experience. Obviously, these don't count till you go pro. So, what did you take out of that fight against a much more experienced Malcolm Wellmaker, a guy that's about to turn pro? You kind of got to see, what that next level looks like.
Well, I can say, man, it was a great learning experience. I feel like it was something that was necessary for me to, elevate. So, I mean, it was from the smallest things to the biggest things. It was a lot that I took away from it. A few things I might show in this next fight. But yeah, man, it was honestly a great experience for me, man. I'm glad it happened and against someone who I consider one of the best in the division. That he's moving on now to pro status. So, but at the time, I just wanted to face the best, and in my eyes, he was the best. So
No doubt, man. I admire that because a lot of guys will duck and dodge the best and kind of be choosy, trying to fluff the record up. There's no doubt you stepped out there on that one and tough challenge. The props to you stepping right back into another tough challenge. This time you got Joel Winters standing across from you, another young buck like yourself. That's kind of come up around the same time. Are you familiar with Joel at all? And what give us your thoughts on how you guys line up?
Uh, and this is no disrespect. I really haven't, seen anything much on him. I did notice his last fight though. He is a wrestler, and I'm no stranger to that. So again, I understand. Everybody coming up is going to be a threat. So I see him as anybody else.
I'm gonna tag out to my man Jeff. What you got for Earl?
Well, Earl, that Wellmaker fight was my first introduction to you. Had the pleasure of being the ring announcer for that bout. And man, one thing I just noticed immediately about you, man, was just how serious and zoned into that fight you were, man. A lot of guys get hyped up and they want to dance, but you had this, I don't know, this locked in, just kind of look and feel to you, man. Um, like you said, there's nothing but you could have done nothing but learn from that fight with Wellmaker. But like Tim was alluding to, going in, no disrespect to Joel Winters, but after stepping in with a guy like Wellmaker and how well rounded he is, do you not feel like that next time out, you're just going to be so much better from that loss and fighting that type of competition that you can't help but just feel confident going into your next fight, even after a loss?
Yes, sir. Of course. Like I said before, fighting a fighter like that is always just gonna elevate you. But at the same time, you got to put the work in the gym. So it's just showing that and expressing myself out there in the cage.
Well, I could be wrong, man, but when I see somebody as kind of just like zoned in and as you were at that fight, you have to come from some sort of other kind of sports background. What did you do before fighting, man? Did you just have that competitive feel to you? So, what other
Mhm.
sports did you play growing up?
So man, growing up, basketball was my first sport. I kind of just like fell off of it kind of growing up, and I started watching MMA, and I just felt like I needed to be in some type of combat sport. So from high school up, I just started wrestling, man, and went to college doing it, and now I'm here.
So you're kind of, you say you started kind of in high school, which, from when I started in this business, I was still on that kind of tail end of that generation who um, learned how to love MMA. They didn't always have it around. I didn't get introduced to it until, my 20s, but you're kind of at that front end of that generation who really has grown more with MMA than without it. So do you feel like you're kind of in that generation of, um, I wasn't another sports star looking to become an MMA fighter. I've really, since I was young, always wanted to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And I do feel like I'm in that fresh mold that's coming up, man. A lot of the fighters is coming out, especially like we said in my era, I feel like we're just gonna take over, man. It's gonna be a tsunami of us, man.
Well, I'm excited to see it again. Like I said, I've been excited one because we've wanted this bantamweight title out there because we think there's a nice crop of bantamweights that could contend for it, but just nobody was really ready to grab the reins and get the title. So I'm excited that somebody's walking away from this fight with that belt and going to be ready to defend it against all those other lions out there who are kind of coming along. So if it's you, whether it's Joel, you guys got a hell of a pack of bantamweights in our little southeast region that are going to be hot on your trail. If you walk away with that title on April 16th, are you going to be ready for everything? Everybody, you got a target on your back. Then are you going to be ready for everybody that's coming after you?
Of course, man. I feel like I got a target on my back anyway. I come in this game, man, taking this very seriously. I can be an amateur with one fight, man. I really love this stuff, so I make sure I put my heart into it.
All right,
So
man.
let's talk about goals here, Earl. You're still young in the sport, 23 years old, only 5 fights under your belt so far. But let's talk about some long and short term goals. How far is this something you're trying to go all the way with? You're all in on this. You're trying to take it to the UFC, Bellator, one of those top notch promotions. Long term and then short term, what are some of the things that you'd like to accomplish here in 2022?
Well, long term, man, yeah, that being in one of those big organizations is definitely my goal, man, since I was 13, man. So that's my eye, man. I'm eyeing one of those contracts. So, and then short term goals, man, and this year at least, man, I want to collect belts. That's when that's my main point. I want to collect belts. Simple. I'm trying to Thanos this, man.
I love
Real
it. I
talk.
love it. Hey, and that's the best way to get experience at the amateur level. Going out and collecting titles in various organizations means you're going to take on the cream of the crop. Then you won't be shell shocked whenever you jump to the pros. A lot of guys jump to the pros and they haven't really been tested yet. And so the first time they see resistance, they really know what to do. So I applaud you in that approach for sure, man. Let's give some shout outs, whether you, man. Any friends, family, training partners, sponsor love you want to give out there?
Oh, definitely, man.
I'll let you have it.
Man, shout out to all the striker, man, all the 10 planet. Man, my dad, happy birthday, love you. Um, love you, mama. Can't forget her.
Of
Ooh.
course.
And again, all my teammates, Warren, Cody, Carrington, Jason, Frank, thank you for everybody who preparing me for this, and we're about to show some fireworks next weekend.
And where could our listeners and viewers find you on social media?
You can find me on ZY_DA King, Instagram, Facebook, same thing.
There you have it. Earl McKinney getting ready to contend for the first ever Aries Bantamweight Championship. It goes down next Saturday. That's April the 16th, Aries Fight Series 6 from the Camp Jordan Arena, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Get your tickets at fighterticksforthenext.com. You can catch the broadcast live at Spectation Sports. Earl, hey man, we appreciate the time. We'll let you get back to your training, and we look forward to seeing you in one short week.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me again, man.
All right, Earl. Thank you so much, man. We look forward to it.